Here's that Zan again. Well, I am very overwhelmed with the support I've gotten for the last video. I've already got 3 subscribers. I've only uploaded 1 YouTube video in my life. That happened about 12 hours ago now. And now I am excited to rip into this next one. Now I'm going to try and make this next video a little bit shorter, so about 15 minutes. I think the algorithm will like that a little bit better. But yeah, the last video at this stage has gotten 12 views in 14 hours, which is actually more than I could have hoped for. I've got 3 subscribers now, and so thank you to all of you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing this little bit of growth. So today I'm just going to run through some of the news we've had in the last, 12 hours since I've uploaded the last video. So, well, the big news is that we've got Braden Trindle has re-signed with the Sharks for 3 seasons, which I was sure he was going to do that in yesterday's video. It was either that or the Dragons, but he's going to be staying put for the next 3 years until 2028. And of course, Xavier Willison from the Broncos has signed on for another couple of years, so he joins Reece Walsh in re-signing. And another Brisbane product, I think he's from Brisbane. No, he's from England, but he played in Brisbane for a little bit. Sam Walker is on the verge of re-signing with the Roosters for another couple seasons. That puts to bed all the speculation on his future and things like that. So those 3 are kind of settled. Now we had a big rumor the other day concerning Terrell May, the player from the prop from the Roosters. Of course, a little bit of backstory on him. He actually played for the Panthers, and then he went to the Seagulls, and then he went to the Roosters, and that kind of thing. And there's a rumor that I think it's because of the salary cap situation more than anything, in my opinion, is that Terrell May might be released from the final 2 years of his contract. When you think about the roster that the Roosters have at the moment, you've got Brandon Smith, you've got Sam Walker, you have Spencer Leniu. You've got some high quality players there. You're not going to be able to keep everybody, quite obviously. But I figure I'm not sure who the right person to release will be. I know you've gotten rid of Luke Keary. They've gotten rid of Luke Keary. Well, not gotten rid of. He's gone to the Super League. Angus Crichton's still there. He's another one. But do you really want to give up Terrell May? He's got so much potential. He sometimes acts a bit silly, but he's young. He's quite entitled to test the waters a little bit. But I think as a player, he is the perfect player for a strong. If he has to leave, I think he might go to the Eels. The Eels are looking for props. Regan Campbell-Gillard have of course been released to the Titans. So I figure having Terrell May go to some place like the Eels, beg my pardon. In my opinion, I think that would work. I think he'd be a perfect, starting option for them. Of course, the other option, he could go back to the Seagulls and just play off the bench there, or the Tigers maybe. The Tigers could be a good spot to have Terrell May. It's out west near Penrith, where he came from and stuff. Although I would love to see, this is kind of a pipe dream because they're all different career trajectories. I would love to see Terrell, Tyrone, and Talon all playing together as a family unit in one team. Because of course none of them are at the Panthers anymore. Talon's gone and stuff. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on the whole Terrell May situation. I'm not sure if his future lies at the Roosters. It's almost certainly it doesn't lie there, I think. But I think they'd be fools to, not at least consider letting him stay for a little while. It's also about vision, as they say, but I don't know. He just fits the bill of a Rooster, in my opinion. Let's take a look at some of the other stories here. There's been a lot of stories this morning, which I figure is pretty good. Tigers have almost completely finalised their squad. They've still got 1 place remaining. And the good thing is, a lot of the squad is made up of young players. Some of them are local juniors. I am really looking forward to seeing what they can provide in 2025. I doubt they're going to get the wooden spoon again. I figure with Luai in the number 6 jersey, they're gonna go places. Not will not really go places. Don't get your hopes up or anything, but I don't think they're going to finish last again. In fact, I'm betting they're going to come back pretty strong and maybe push toward the 8. Maybe not at the 8, but toward the 8. Benji Marshall is only a new coach, so I'm betting he's going to take a bit of... He's going to take time, but I'm hoping, for the sake of the Tigers fans, I'm not one of them, but I'm hoping that they will, do a bit of improvement. I'm thinking, if I had to predict where they land, I think 11th. Because the Knights, they had the wooden spoon for 3 seasons in a row. Then in 2018 they had a strong start to the season, but they ended up finishing 11th. Still better than last. So that's just my opinion based on them. So the race for Ben Hunt is also still on. We have the Dolphins. They're still chasing him hard. I think the Broncos are definitely in the mix. It's strange because I think a month ago, when it looked like he was going to be at the Dragons in 2025, a lot of these clubs had pulled out of the race for Ben Hunt. But I'm thinking now that he is released for 2025, I think there's more demand for him now, considering that there's an immediate need for halfbacks, and we're not gonna argue with that, because it's one of the areas where the NRL seems to be lacking in quality halfbacks. That's why we at Penrith and Melbourne are so lucky to have people like Nathan Cleary and Jerome Hughes, who play week in, week out, and give us all consistent form. Not every team has that. I mean, the Broncos have Adam Reynolds, he's cool, and Sam Walker is good for the Roosters. But I don't know, it's difficult to find quality players in positions like that, when if you look at the fullback stocks, there are a lot of fullbacks and centres and wingers. It just depends on how it all depends on the clubs. And if I had my way, as I keep saying, a lot of these clubs would be junior nurseries and stuff, and they'd have all these young players coming through the ranks, and they could swap them around, and like the Panthers do. The Panthers are well ahead of the game, but they're not the only ones. They're far from the only ones, as I explained briefly yesterday. You've also got also read a story a little bit ago. It was literally about half an hour ago. I was in the car and I read a story about Bunty Afoa from the Warriors being offered to some Super League teams. I think the Warriors are just chopping and changing a little bit. I think they got rid of Jazz Tavanga. He's at Manly now. I'm not entirely sure where Bunty Afoa fits in. I mean, being honest, he's far from the best prop in the game, but he is still decent. And I don't know. Maybe the Warriors should sign Terrell May if they're not satisfied with who they've got at the moment. But I don't know. Bunty Afoa just seems like he fits somewhere in the NRL. I know he fits somewhere. If it's not at the Warriors, it's probably one of the Sydney teams, because I can imagine him making the transition. He might be a good signing for the Dragons or the Bulldogs. Not the Bulldogs really need a whole lot more forwards, but that's just my opinion. The Warriors are one of the few teams in the NRL which I'm really unfamiliar with, mainly because I haven't gotten to see a lot of their playing together. So that's just me. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit, by the way. Just went for a run and stuff, so I'm still a bit gasping for breath and stuff. I found this story here as well, which only just got uploaded. So I'm just gonna have a look at it. Selwyn Cobbo, the Broncos haven't re-signed him yet. He's getting a lot of attention from other teams. I saw a story last month. It's a choice between Selwyn Cobbo and Katoni Staggs for the Broncos' positions. In my opinion, I honestly don't know who'd be better in the long run. Perhaps they'd go with. If I had to choose, I'd choose Katoni Staggs just because of the experience he gives and the fact that there are a lot of young wingers in the Brisbane area who might be able to push for a spot. But in an ideal world, I'd be happy to see the Broncos keep both of them, because they've done a good job. They've got a lot of juniors in the team at the moment. A lot of local Brisbane kids. Reece Walsh is another one of them. Xavier Willison too, and I think Reece Walsh's deal has probably closed the door on re-signing both of them, but you can hope. If you're a Broncos fan, you should definitely hope, because there definitely is still a possibility that they can keep a lot of these younger players. There's definitely more coming through as well. I remember a few years ago in 2021, it wasn't the best season for the Broncos, but I was really interested in their pathway system, even after losing people like Sam Walker and Reece Walsh in the years prior to that. So yeah, it's not easy to keep everyone, but I'd be surprised if the Broncos don't, put up a massive fight, because that's just who they are. They have a lot of respect for their players. I admire them for the fact that they put so much faith in their squad. Although there has been significant chopping and changing and stuff. I was pleasantly surprised in 2023 that they managed to get all the way to the final, but then I was disappointed in their run last year, or this year rather. But I figure the way to the future is the backline of which contains Walsh, Staggs, Cobbo. I can't name any of the other players. As I said, I have not watched a lot of rugby league recently. Of course, Corey Oates retired. Maybe since Corey Oates is retired, I don't know how much cap space he leaves behind now that he's gone. I would love to see, as I keep stuttering away, I would love to see Brisbane Broncos re-sign as many of these players as they possibly can. But we have seen them lose a bit of talent in the past few years as well, which I'm mindful of. They lost Farnworth and Flegler to the Dolphins. They lost Coates to the Storm, which is kind of unfortunate. They've got because you can't, as I keep saying, you can't keep them all. But it would have been nice if they could have, because just imagine that: Cobbo on one side, Coates on the other, Walsh at fullback, Farnworth and Staggs in the centres. I think they did have that team line up at one stage, because that is amazing. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to do. So that's today's video. What I'm thinking of doing, the Pacific Championships resume tonight. What I might do is I might do a little reaction video of that. I don't know, no promises. But it might be a little bit more interesting than seeing me ramble on about transfers and whatnot. About this channel, transfers and news about the game is pretty much all I do. I will not delve into personal issues that are none of our business. This is just this is something about the game, not necessarily the people who play the game. This is just about the game and the whole business around it. So that's basically me for today. It's a shorter video today, but I'm getting better at doing it, and I will hopefully see you for the next one. I might do a little bit of a reaction video for tonight's games if I decide to. Of course, that'll be hard because of all the editing and stuff, but I can probably do it. So yeah, whenever I see you, whether it be tomorrow with a couple videos or tomorrow with just one, I will see you later. Bye now.